Hey guys, welcome back to the Dan Cape. My name is Britt, better known as Default Dan, and we're going to be looking at a new segment that we just started over on Twitch called Disney Fights. This is episode 1. Every Monday we're going to be doing our Disney Fights starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, so make sure to stop by and check it out live. If you like the content you're seeing, like, subscribe below, and make sure to leave a comment letting us know what question you want to see on a future Disney Fight. So what is a Disney Fight? A Disney Fight is where we get 3 contestants hanging out with us, discussing topics that are all Disney related. The contestants are going to have 2 minutes to make their case on why their answer is the correct answer for each of these topics. From there, each person is going to be able to rebuttal why theirs is better than what everybody else said. And then that's where you guys come in. You're going to be voting live on stream of who you think won that argument. Not necessarily who your favorite answer is, but which argument made the most sense and maybe swayed you into believing that that is the right answer. So at the end of the segment, whoever's won the most rounds is going to move on to the semifinals. Those semifinal winners are also going to move on to the finals. So make sure to check in every Monday and see your favorite contestants battling it out. So with that, let's just jump into it.
Let's get ready to Disney Fight!
In the green corner, representing the West Coast, so you know he's living that Boba life. And in the orange corner, you better hide your lunch money, because he already stole my juice box. And over in that purple corner, we have the powerful artifact the Decepticons used to bend the wills of everybody. It's the DarkSpark. So we're going to get into this. We're going to get into round 1.
Round 1.
And let's get that question up there. So round 1. The question is the best overall Disney character. We're going to make this easy. We're going to start this round. We're going to start over with Boba. We're going to make our way left to right. So Boba, tell us, who do you think the best character is? I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and you'll be able to go. So ready, set, go.
Alright, so my choice for best overall Disney character, and this was a really, really tough one, I picked Wreck-It Ralph for these reasons. So, to my understanding from watching like all of the Disney franchising movies and stuff like that, he has been the first actual villain protagonist that I can remember. Now, the reason he's the best overall Disney character is for that reason. Most of the Disney roster, like per se, like their list of characters are all mostly heroes. You grow up loving the nicer characters, the ones that you can strive to be. But the one reason I feel that Wreck-It Ralph is separate from the rest is because he's one that's a little bit more relatable. He goes through this deeper struggle in his movie where he starts out as somebody that's not exactly perceived as the best character in the world. He's not the fairest in all the land. He's not the one that you want to be. He's not the one that you try to be. It's more like he's the one that you already are. And it's through that struggle of his movie where he learns it's not how everybody sees me. It's not what everybody else thinks of me. His character journey it's a lot more relatable to telling in a modern era, whereas before it was a little bit better to put things in a brighter light, to look towards what's more positive, to the Disney princesses, the Disney princes, characters like Buzz Lightyear, where they're super heroic. Wreck-It Ralph it's different. He starts out as being completely separated, and I just like really love his catchphrase. I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me. His story tells us that we're not perfect. We're made in some way, but it's what we do with our own personal traits that make us who we are, and it's our choice to actually be better than that, to use what we have.
All right, time's up. Time's up. All right, the 2 minutes. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick. All right, so we got JoosBox. Let's hear it, man. Let's start over that counter. Ready, set, and go.
Let's do it. So I chose Woody as the best Disney hero. Why? Because one, he's iconic. Okay, you know him just by looking at him. You know his name. He's a cute cowboy. He's voiced by Tom Hanks, and he is 15 inches or 15.8 inches tall without his hat, and 15.93 inches tall with his hat. That's real facts, guys. The first contestant doesn't have any facts. All right, let's talk about him in his films. His growth as a hero. He shows change. He learns from his mistakes. He adapts. He's extremely loyal. I mean, he's Andy's favorite toy since kindergarten. Come on. He's a leader. He considers all his friends and family as his friends and family, tries best to keep them all together. He's also really smart. He also changes for the good. Like, remember in Toy Story 2 when he meets Jessie and basically he wants to leave and he wants to basically be a part of the Woody's roundup, and then he wants to go, but Jessie says, no, you have to stay. There's that idea of abandonment, which eventually he learns from Jessie about. He's determined. He's passionate. But some of you may think that Woody is an anti-hero, that he's flawed, that he's intimidated by Buzz's more modern appearance compared to what his like ragdoll appearance, and maybe he's jealous and whatnot. He has doubt and anger and frustration, uncertainty. Maybe his adventurous spirit isn't intact in the first film, and he's more wimpy compared to future films. Well, we're going to do this like a famous scene from one of my favorite movies, 8 Mile. Just like Eminem versus Papa Doc at the end of 8 Mile before Papa Doc goes on to become Falcon and the newest Captain America. You guys ready for this? All right, here we go. Now, everybody from the 313, put your mother effing hands up in the air and follow me. Everybody from the 313. F this battle. I don't want to win. I'm outie. Here, tell these people, Dark Spark and Boba Life, something they don't know about me. Who's me? It's Woody.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. With 5 seconds to spare there, man. Destroying it with those facts. Oh man, Dark. That's gonna be hard to follow up, man. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, the timer is on. Let's hear it.
While he stands tough, notice that Juice did not have his hands up. So my choice was Jack Sparrow, and honestly, I chose him simply because I just wanted to see if I could really make this argument, which is that there has never been a character before him that actually actively questioned Disney convention. So when he drops Will Turner, he literally says, you can accept the fact that your father was a pirate and a good man. Because the trip is that Jack Sparrow does not start out, and actually throughout the original trilogy, isn't really a hero. Everyone loves him, but as far as the audience, but he's not the hero. That's Will Turner. Will Turner is the true hero. Jack Sparrow is this perfect encapsulation of a character who has moral grays, who has his own desires. He doesn't have any sort of gung ho, let me be a good person in his body. His entire concept is based around, I am doing this for the pearl because that's what I want. And the best part is all of his motivation we learn as we go. He is, as another famous Disney movie says, mysterious as the dark side of the moon, because who he is and what he wants is piecemeal to us in the most amazing way, to the point where we watch him grow, and to the point where he makes decisions that actually clash with people's perception who believe he is a hero. Jack Sparrow in Dead Man's Chest bails out from everyone and is rowing away because the Kraken's about to take the pearl, and the people were like, that's not Jack Sparrow's character. Yes, it is. Jack Sparrow has always been a single-serving person, and it's when he comes back that makes it a huge character change, because it shows deep growth in who he is, what he's doing, and why he would become the eventual the legend that he is. He's
all right.
One of. Go ahead.
Yeah. I gotta stop you there. That's the 2 minute mark.
Cool. That's cool.
So yeah, man. We got in the chat over here. We got Dark Spark just took Boba's whole OG anti-hero argument, said hold my beer. So now we're going to go around 2 minutes apiece. So go ahead, Bobo. We're going to start with you again. Go back around. Tear down these other two guys. Tell them why Wreck-It Ralph is better than the arguments they made. Poke some holes in what they said, and let's see if we can get everybody on board with you, man. So let's get that timer started and go.
All right, I got to tear down DarkSpark right now, just because it's fresh in my head. So he's trying to one up me by talking about his how Jack Sparrow was originally the OG anti-hero, as guest put it, right? The thing is, Jack Sparrow starts out a certain way. Throughout all 5 of the movies, he's still the exact same way. So if you're talking about like best overall Disney character, there's a more visible character arc. He still acts as Jack Sparrow. He was always this way, you know. He was always out for himself. He was always he makes these certain decisions over the course of meeting other people. Yeah, but he doesn't make this great change between movies 1 through 5. He's still the lovable Jack Sparrow pirate that we all came to love from the first movie. Whereas Wreck-It Ralph, he starts out as someone that you like kind of question. You know, he is supposed to be the villain of the game, but then by the end of the movie, he becomes the hero. He finds himself, despite being the quote unquote antagonist of the story, but he's the protagonist in our hearts. And now as for Juice, he just had some facts. He just read a textbook to you, dude. I gave you understanding of what Wreck-It Ralph's like intention was, what his purpose, how to see the movie in a different light. Whereas he kind of just rapped at us like Eminem. I appreciate that. I love Eminem, but at the same time, you got to give us more than just saying that Woody wanted to keep his family together. There was no explanation of the character arc there. Wreck-It Ralph has this great, massive change. You got to understand that part.
All right. So Bubba coming back strong, tearing it down, saying what he thinks about Wreck-It Ralph there. I also find it a little interesting that all you guys picked characters that have multiple movies. So that's really cool there. All right, so Juice, you ready, man?
Yeah, let's party.
All right, let's do it.
I just want to pull on the record that the first contestant, Boba Life, did say I was reading facts. So I will take that. Thank you so much, Boba. Very, very important. And by the way, if you're going to talk about Wreck-It Ralph, you should probably maybe mention Penelope. I mean, she was a pretty important character in that film, and obviously him becoming her type of caretaker and almost like a father figure to her was pretty important. So maybe you should bring her up next time. Oh, so by the way, just talking about Woody, because I know you were kind of hinting on not as his character arc. I did an interview recently with Andy Davis, actually Woody's owner from Toy Story. I actually talked to him. And, I pulled something that came from the movie that just shows exactly how much a hero is to Woody. So here we go. Do we remember this from Toy Story 3, guys? Quote from Andy. Woody has been my pal since I can remember. He's brave like a cowboy should be. He's kind and smart. But the thing that makes Woody special is he'll never give up on you. He'll be there for you no matter what. Isn't that a definition of a hero? I mean, come on. Are we talking about Jack Sparrow, who's just constantly drunk throughout the entire movie? He doesn't shower. His teeth are all nasty. He's selfish on his own. Don't be shaking your head, DarkSpark. I don't know, guys. You know the clear winner. Woody, Woody, Woody. Let's go.
Hey, Juice. Say her name right first. It's not Penelope, dude. Vanellope, please.
It's kind of like a potato thing. I'm completely fine with that. It's okay.
No. Show some respect to the franchise, please.
I know you get some like
you can name drop Andy Davis
in your
all
chat
day.
Sometimes Booba Life and Boba Life. It's the same thing.
All right, Dark. You ready to follow that, man?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's get it.
1, Juice, this is the best character, not the cleanest character, okay? Second, so now I have to address my boy Boba. What was Ralph's major change? Because if you ask me, Ralph's whole thing was that he always was a hero. It was the perception that was the concept, the role. When does he actually act like he's anything but a guy who's just labeled a villain but doesn't actually act out? When does Ralph act truly like, oh, I have to be a villain? Everything he's doing, he just wants to be accepted. It's not like he screws anybody over. It's not like he leaves them for dead multiple times. Who does that? Oh, right. The captain. Captain Jack Sparrow, who frequently screws over people who are supposed to be his allies for his own gain. to go from that, you want to talk about change, you have to talk about the fact that you go from that to the guy who, by the end of the original trilogy, is willing to sacrifice himself for his friends. After in the original, he's shown constantly screwing over Will Turner at almost every turn, because you just don't know. Because a dishonorable man you can always trust to be dishonest, but it's the honest ones you want to watch out for, because you never know when they're going to do something incredibly stupid.
Awesome. So we got just a little bit of rebuttal, and then we're going to throw it over to a poll. I've got the poll set up, so we'll get that live in just a second. So again, any closing statements, Boba, from your side? Anything to get the jury on your side?
I love what I said. I'll let what I've already said speak for itself.
Awesome. How about you, Juice?
No, like I said, I think Guest Gaming made a good thing in chat. He said Woody's best friend is Mr. Potato Head, and pretty valid. And you know,
Hold up. You gotta read that again.
Did you all take stupid pills this morning?
How about you, Dark? How about you, Dark? Any closing?
Your COVID vaccine.
No.
All right.
Let it go to the.
All right, so we're gonna turn it over to you guys. I'm gonna get this poll going. We got 3 minutes to start that poll, or to vote in that poll. So the poll is going up now. Make sure you guys are voting there. I'm gonna be checking the results there as we go to see what those look like. In the meantime, we're gonna do a battle royale. The winner of this battle royale. So I'm gonna be doing these in between questions while you guys are voting. The winner of these, please reach out to me on Discord. We're going to be giving away $5 gift cards, whether you want Amazon, Google, Apple, however you want that. We're going to be doing $5 gift cards in between rounds for the winners of the battle royales. So yeah, so guys, as they're voting, they're doing their votes. What do you think so far? Is this what you guys expected? Is this what you're excited about for the rest of the night?
This is exactly what I knew would happen.
Pretty much.
Well,
Although
you
Juice
losing
is
the
the
first
wild
round?
X factor.
Well, with DarkSpark and I, that's pretty much how it is all the time. With Juice, it's like Juice after dark. I've never been on a call with Juice this late, so it's like he's just coming for blood.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's fun, man.
Long news done right, Juice.
I knew you guys would bring it. I knew you would do your notes and get ready for it. So I'm super excited to see what we got in the next couple rounds, because we got some good ones. We got some good questions. We got some good answers. I mean, the thing is, some of the answers you guys picked, again, we don't see any of like the main princes in here, right? Any of the main princesses, anything like that from Disney. So all these choices surprised me a little bit with the arguments, man. You got me a little intrigued. So definitely enjoyed that, guys. All right, let's see. So we got the poll still going, about halfway done. I may move that poll next time around to be like a minute and a half instead of 3.
I'm making some more. I'm making some additional Twitch accounts to boost my numbers.
Whoa! Hold up.
At the moment, Juice has that
on yourself.
Yeah,
has that,
my Juice
that
Woody,
big
my
win.
Juice Woody wins. My Juice wins first round. You know, we got this, guys.
Stephen B,
Awesome,
Stephen A,
awesome.
Stephen C.
Kamikaze with that win of the battle royale. So I will hit you up over on Discord, man. After the stream, we'll get that all settled away. Again, be thinking about what you want: Amazon, Google, Apple, whichever one. We'll take care of that. So we got poll kind of winding down right now. We got Juice in the lead with 10, and Boba and DarkSpark tied at 7 at the moment. What is up? Leaving normal, gifting that sub over to Stephen Brandt. Appreciate it, man. So yeah,
admitted to tampering with the democratic process.
Yes.
Mine is 5 votes.
All right. So I think we got our votes in. We got the votes in. We got Juice, MyJoosBox, with the winner of round 1, with Woody as that answer, being the best overall Disney character. So Super, super exciting. That takes us straight into round 2.
Round 2.
So with round 2, we will get that question up there. The question for round 2 is worst Disney movie. And this time around, we're going to start on the right side. We're going to start with you, Mr. Darkspark. So put that time on the clock. Give it a go, man.
Wait, which one are we doing?
Worst Disney movie.
Okay. I chose The Black Cauldron. I'm not going to be making any friends of this cult, but we got to do this. This movie cost $44 million to make. By comparison, guys, Lion King cost $45 million to make. This failure actually almost destroyed the Disney company as we know it. There were 2 times where Disney company almost went under. The first time because the biggest military engagement of the 1900s called World War II happened, and the other was the Black Cauldron's existence. Okay, so the execution of it was the actual fault. Nobody. If you watch this film, you have all these that you have a pig that can see the future. You have but can't talk. You have a little gremlin that looks like it's the love child of Gollum and Maurice from Beauty and the Beast. I mean, like it is one of the strangest films. You have the Horned King, who, spoilers, exists in his goal for all of 2 minutes before it just randomly ends, and he gets sucked in by the thing he was trying to maintain the entire time, i.e., the Black Cauldron. Jeffrey Katzenberg cut 12 minutes of this film, and it shows by the fact that it is so disjointed, a hot mess of beautiful concept that has no execution and almost destroyed the thing we all come here to know and love, which is the Disney company.
All right. So next up, man, we got Juice. You ready, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Nope.
All right. The worst Disney movie, in my opinion, is The Three Caballeros. And if you want to know more about this film, you can also head over to youtube.com at MyJoosBox and watch the Disney discussion where we talked about it in greater depth, but we're not doing that right now. Anyways, was that a shameless plug? I'm so sorry. Okay, all right. So if you haven't seen this movie, you aren't missing much. And also, when you think about it, if you haven't seen this movie, it's probably you haven't seen this movie for a reason. And if you haven't seen this movie, it's probably because it's pretty bad. All right, let's get into it. So if you don't know much about the movie, the plot revolves around Donald Duck, where it's his birthday, he gets all these birthday gifts, whatever. He's introduced to like these like different types of exotic birds, and there's like these little short stories. But then the movie gets kind of weird because he meets the other 2 caballeros, which means knight or gentleman in Spanish, and they don't ever say that in the movie, by the way. So if you want to know what that is, you have to go look it up yourself. The first caballeros is from his name's Jose. He's from South America. Basically, the film you travel to South America, just outside Brazil. And here's where the problem of the film, guys, comes in. You see all these, like, you hear all this music, you hear all this story, all this plot, all this dialogue in Portuguese, but there's no translation. Like, you literally have no idea what's going on. The same thing happens when you meet the final caballeros from Mexico. You go to Mexico, and there's more music and dancing and all this crazy live action animation stuff, but you don't know what the hell's going on. It's very, very bad. Finally, the last point to make is Donald Duck in this movie is insane, okay? He's girl crazy, he's horny, he lusts after like these women, he chases them and kisses them. Daisy Duck's not even in the movie, and they did that for a reason because it's probably intentional. It's absolutely insane. I respect it as exploring other cultures and regions around the world, but I didn't feel a part of the experience just because I didn't actually know what was going on regarding the language and the translations and things like that. Yes, very confused, not great, wouldn't recommend, worst Disney movie.
All right. Right at the buzzer. All right, so Boba, it is your turn, buddy.
All right. So my pick for worst Disney movie is something that you guys may not even know was a Disney movie. I picked Planes. So the reason being is that Disney movies are meant to be memorable, to have a place in the vault, in history, and I feel like Planes doesn't fit that at all. Like, up until I did research again for this discussion, I forgot that it was not a Pixar movie. The fact that it is a complete ripoff, or it was actually intended to be a spin-off of Cars, was Walt Disney's attempt on trying to recreate that for more merchandise. The fact that it's the exact same plot with no memorable characters, no originality to it at all, and that it's completely forgettable is the fact why it's the worst Disney movie. If you can't even remember it or have any original characters, then there's no reason to even call it like basically a Disney movie. I would say like Disney's had a trend of reusing animation and things like that in things like The Jungle Book and the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, or in the Aristocats and Robin Hood. But this is a completely different thing. What they did was literally just take the entire script of Cars and redo it with planes. Like, there's no originality to it. It's not a sequel. There's literally no reason that you could ever remember this movie existed. And then comes Planes, Fire, and Rescue. But I'm using Planes as my case right now. So the fact that you can barely remember that it was a Disney movie, worst movie.
All right. So these are all good arguments, just like what the guys are saying in chat. Like a lot of people in the chat haven't seen any of these movies, and again, for good reason, as it seems. So let's go around the room one more time. DarkSpark, tear these guys apart. Tell them why The Black Cauldron is much worse than these other two movies.
Well, first, we can talk about this since, he wanted to shamelessly plug Disney Discussion, as I said. He knows the backstory of Three Caballeros. He may not like it, but he knows, thanks to me, Juice knows that the Three Caballeros helped sustain Disney in a time where they were about to collapse. Whereas, again, The Black Cauldron, and I cannot stress this enough, almost destroyed the company. If there is no company, goodbye DSA, goodbye Default Dance Channel, goodbye MyJoosBox Channel, goodbye. We don't have anything. We're all sitting here twiddling our thumbs in quarantine. I mean, like, I'm too busy cackling at the fact that Boba was so on point with his planes bit that I'm just like, you know what, bro? You have that one. Because honestly, there's no rebuttal for that. He's not wrong. So,
yo, I'm getting so much hate.
All right. So JuiceBox, how about your side, man? Why are these guys wrong about their choice?
Okay, so first of all, DarkSpark forgot to mention that Tim Burton had some actual work on The Black Cauldron. So if you are choosing to dislike The Black Cauldron, don't shake your head, Dark. Don't shake your head. If you choose you hate Tim Burton, that's an actual direct reference. By the way, let's talk about Planes really quick. Boba forgot to point out the greatest point on why Planes is actually a good movie. Are you guys ready for this? Dane Cook has did voice acting for Planes. Are you kidding me? Dane Cook, legendary comedian. Let's go, guys. Look, Three Caballeros. Okay. Look, it wasn't great. I know I talked a lot about Donald. I talked about a lot of the language barriers and things like that. I also have to mention as well is there's just no plot when it comes to the end. Like, it's almost like it's just a giant like travel expedition. Like, you're just watching these bands play music, and you're seeing all these random characters. You're seeing Donald try to kiss all these women. Literally, there's no like plot. There's no significance. Like, Donald doesn't learn anything. Like, he doesn't grow. He doesn't have an arc whatsoever. It's terrible, guys. Seriously, don't watch it. Please don't watch it. Just watch Dane Cook and Planes. Such a good movie. Let's go.
All right, Boba. Sounds like you had a good choice, man. All right, so let them know, man. Let them know why Planes is still the choice for worst Disney movie.
All right, so Planes is.
What an argument there.
He got scared, man.
Oh, baby. Let's go.
He said it was going to happen to me. That's why it happened to him. Jinxed himself.
Now we're all moved around. Hang on. We'll get him in.
Yo, I had the Discord crash now too.
Welcome to the club.
All right. Anyway,
you gotta
am I good to keep going?
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good.
Yeah. All right. So it came out in a very different era, where it came out in a modern time when what we really need is individuality. It came out and copied a movie that was pretty successful. I know DarkSpark has like his own personal opinions about why its inspiration Cars is not a good movie, but that aside, it completely copied things. Whereas Three Caballeros has Donald Duck. It has the two other Caballeros. I don't know their names because I haven't seen the movie, but the fact that they have a ride at Disney World should say something about the fact that it has a place in history. And then the Black Cauldron, we have the Horned King, one of the coolest designed villains in like Disney rosters. You know, next to like Chernabog and Maleficent, but the Horned King is one of the coolest villains. It may not have been part of a really good movie, but memorable characters is also another like defining factor of what makes Disney Disney. Planes, not a whole lot of that. Dusty Crockhopper is just Lightning McQueen, but a plane. And the rest of the characters, I couldn't tell you because honestly, like I said, completely forgettable, and that's really all I got.
Voiced by Dane Cook.
Voiced by my
Awesome,
MyJoosBox coming soon.
So, closing arguments, Darkspark. Anything you want to say to close them out? Get that jury on your side.
Juice, you want to talk about there's no plot? LOL. What plot of Black Cauldron? You want to talk about character change? Nobody freaking knows what happens. The kid wants to go off and fight in a war. He somehow ends up and then he somehow ends up going after the Horned King. It is the most mind trippy. It's like this is what a story would look like if you got bashed in the head repeatedly and suffered like multiple comas and concussions. And as far as Planes, Boba, Planes came out in a time where everything has been copied and derivative. Dude, we make so many movies now that are just rehashes of everything. So honestly, it being copied, pasted is par for the course of its era versus being hit right in the middle of the time where Black Cauldron sits right between the time of prosperity of Disney and like the surgence into like legend for Disney. And so I mean,
Yeah.
and Horned King did nothing. He does nothing. He raises the Cauldron born, and then the Cauldron eats him. That's the play. He looks great, but he does nothing.
All right. Juice, closing arguments. Anything, man?
Well, at least, I mean, Spark, at least your movie has a damn villain. Like, your character goes through some type of tension or some type of conflict. Like, there is no villain in my film. There's no conflict in my film. There's no, like, is this character going to, like, overcome some type of struggle or something? No, there's none of that. And even for Planes, at least for Planes, there also is as well. There's some type of challenge that the character has to somehow overcome. There's nothing like that in Three Cabros. Terrible. It's boring. There's no action. Sleep fest. Done.
All right. How about you, Boba? Closing argument, man.
I'm good. I've said my piece.
All right. So we're gonna start this poll up. We got the choices going. We're gonna do 2 minutes on this poll instead of 3 minutes. Make it a little bit faster. So polls should be up. Make sure you're voting, guys. Again, it's not about the movie that you think is the worst. It's about these arguments these guys made. What do you think there? And I'm reading through chat. There's a few other movies these guys are talking about. I've seen Song of the South come up a couple times. That surprising. Nobody picked that. Probably one of the, I don't know. It's one of the worst movies, but for different reasons. Not on Disney Plus for those reasons. Yeah, a lot of other ones kind of hanging out in there in the chat. So yeah, I know when we were picking our topics, like I said in the chat a second ago, said at the top of the hour, when we were going through and talking to these guys, there's a huge list of topics. These guys could pick one from the list or come up with one to see what they did. But I know, Boba, you kind of threw this one out as worst Disney movie for everybody here. And when we get to question 5, we're going to be doing the opposite. So question 5 is going to be the same question every single week. Best Disney movie ever, kind of, because the way that one's going to work is they have a list of movies that they can pick from. As soon as somebody uses it, it comes off the list. So these guys are going to see their choice a little bit later today. And what they pick are not available for all the other episodes. So when we get down to like episode 7, 8, 9, semifinals, that kind of stuff, they're going to be scraping the bottom, trying to argue out why those movies are the greatest Disney movie of all time. So definitely looking forward to that one. So see what those results are looking like. Coming down to the last few seconds. Right now, we got DarkSpark leading this argument with the Black Cauldron. We got Boba in second. So you got 5 votes over there, 11 votes for Spark. MyJoosBox, man, you only got 2 on your side.
I voted for myself twice. It's okay.
So So this poll is ending up. We've got 13 now for Spark. It looks like Spark is taking this one down. So right now we got MyJoosBox with a point. We got DarkSpark with a point in question 2. Oh, it's been exciting, man. It's been exciting, guys. So we got question 3. We got round 3.
Round 3.
Let's get that question up there. All right. So question 3, we've got best Disney song. So again, a little surprising. You guys picked a song, but not that surprising. We've got some really good ones. So we're gonna mix it up this time. We're gonna let you go first, Juice. We'll go from Juice to Boba over to Dark. So let us know, what is that best Disney song?
Sure. All right. I chose Let It Go from Frozen. Let's spread some knowledge first, guys. Let me back up with some facts here. Written by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, same guys who did Remember Me from Coco, also Academy Award winner. Performed by Idina Menzel. You guys know this. She was in theater, Broadway, studio album. She's just a professional. The song recording, the mixing's all great. It was the first song from Disney animated musical to reach the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 since 1995. If you don't know what the last film was, it was Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. And Let It Go reached the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100. Won the Academy Award for Best Original Song and the Grammy Award for the Best Song Written for Visual Media in 2015. If you don't know what the song's about, basically the song presents Queen Elsa, who flees her kingdom when she publicly loses her control of her ability to generate ice. Up in the mountains and far away from the townspeople, Elsa realizes that she no longer needs to hide her ability and rejoices in not only being able to use her power freely, but also the freedom from others' expectations of her as a royal. She sheds her royal accessories, creates a living snowman, and builds a magnificent ice castle for herself. Let's dissect a little bit of the song really quick. Let's talk about the final chorus. Let it go, and I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, that perfect girl is gone. She's empowered here, guys, and that's not a DSA reference right there. She's breaking from her past. She's throwing off all of her responsibilities. Her refusal to live by anything other than what she feels that are seen as empowering. Last part. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. She's no longer concealing her true identity. She's in the light of the day, allowing it to rage on. Almost reborn. One final point I'll make. Look, I heard this song before I even saw Frozen. Okay? The song is catchy. It stays with you, and despite it being pretty much overplayed and mainstream at times, people did seek out this film after hearing the song. That's the power. That's the power that a Disney song can have on its film, for sure.
All right. That's a good one. So Boba, what do you got, man?
All right, my choice for best Disney song is "You've Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story. So reasons here. The meaning of the song, it embodies what Disney really means to a lot of kids. It literally talks about friendship, and then it goes on to later in the movie be the portrayal of the friendship between Woody and Buzz and all of the toys in Andy's room. So many successful Disney stories capitalize on the idea of friendship and the importance of it in one's life. And I am reading this because I wrote it down. So to have a song whose sole message is such an important quality for kids these days, especially in a time when right now we're all separated from each other, we're doing this as friends. So the fact that a song like "You've Got a Friend in Me" it's just so important to what Disney is. Now, as a song, it's an infectious melody. It's very simple. It's not overly produced. And then it's also got a staple rotation on the Disney Esplanade, as well as many all-time greatest Disney hits. "You've Got a Friend in Me" by Randy Newman. And it's also one of the most memorable songs in Pixar history. The aspect of Disney that's not known to have songs in it. Yeah, most Pixar movies don't really have notable songs, but there are movies like Coco, but this one was the first one. It was the first Pixar song, and that's why it's got to be the most memorable. It's got to be the best Disney song. It's just something that where when you hear it, you honestly just get that warm feeling you get when you go to Disneyland because it's playing in the background. It's just one of the best Disney songs you'll ever hear.
All right. So we got the first two down. DarkSpark, bring us home. Give us that third song, man.
All right, I chose one definitely off the wall, especially given the choices of the other two. I chose "Feed the Birds" from Mary Poppins. A little fun, since we're going to go into Juice's territory about facts, this was Walt's favorite song. Walter Elias Disney had a favorite song, and it was "Feed the Birds." The entire concept around the lyrical content of Feed the Birds and its message is about charity, is about seeing others, is about helping those, and not only and being able to not only see those in need, but there's a secondary message beneath it that also says, do not forget the ethos and things that you had carried as a child. We were, as children, were most of us were probably giving people, where most of us were probably why don't we help this person, blah blah blah. We always ask these questions, and eventually that erodes away. That's the problem with the world. Too many people grow up. So eventually, this is the theme song of Mary Poppins, and it is frequently played instrumentally at various key points of the film, both in somber moments where we think Mr. Banks is forgetting that very concept and ethos, and later on, when it's starting to appear that things are starting to look up. It's a beautiful duality of hope and sorrow. There is also a story about when Richard Sherman played this song during a Walt Disney World commemorative event. He played it as Walt's favorite song, and a bird flew down and then departed. And he believed that was Walt saying, "Well done."
Oh man, so that is definitely an off the wall choice, but you made some great arguments, man. Juice, let's hear what you got to say about the other two choices.
Let's jump into it. And by the way, I'm going to apologize to you, Dan. You're currently losing viewers because they're going to look up Feed the Birds on YouTube because they've never heard that song before. So expect your viewer count to go up really, really
Not
soon.
a popularity contest.
And by the way, there's plenty of other songs from Mary Poppins that could definitely outshine that one. So I'm just going to say that.
Walt disagrees.
And then for You Got a Friend in Me, it would have impacted me more if we got some Boba Life Randy Newman impression there, but it didn't really hit home to me. Yeah, guys, Let It Go. I mean, come on. You all are familiar with the song. You've all heard it before. And like I said, I didn't see Frozen before I actually heard the song. It actually drove me to it. And like I said, it's not just a catchy song that everyone likes to listen to. It's like, there's powerful meaning into it. Like I broke down the final chorus of the song, and obviously the song, it gives power, it gives empowerment. It shows changing, accepting who you are. Similar themes that show up through a lot of other Disney songs. It's a pretty good one. It had a major impact. It's changed the way that music is done in Disney based on its success, both hitting the mainstream, hitting streaming and things like that as well. Like obviously Coco nailed the hit after that with Pixar, but there's Disney is trying to get more music that is more influential and inspiring so people will watch the films more and connect with them more. So I think Frozen really took off that with Let It Go.
Awesome. All right, Boba.
All right. So let me hit back at Juice really quick and just say that Let It Go, honestly, like this is a hard topic, right? I love all of these songs, but let's say Let It Go is probably the most overrated modern Disney song that came out. Played every single time on repeat after the movie came out. I played the song in band. When you play a song in band, it's got to be overrated, or it's got to be like so popular that you have to do it. So the fact that you just play it over and over, had it been just a really, really good song in a good movie, it could have been classified as one of the better ones, but it's way overplayed. It's literally the entire scheme of a modern pop song with just a theme that doesn't apply to the entire franchise of Disney. Now, big respect to Darkspark for choosing Feed the Birds. Like to guest point in chat, I would have also thought about this, but then I'm thinking also, what's the best Disney song, not the best song? The message of Feed the Birds is super, super strong. The song is really, really good, but you're not going to find a 5-year-old singing Feed the Birds versus singing You've Got a Friend in Me. Disney is geared towards a younger demographic. While you could have the bigger, large fan base like that we are, it's geared towards the kids. You've Got a Friend in Me is something all the kids know, all the kids are going to hear, everybody's going to sing from young to old. Whereas Feed the Birds, it's something like you have to have your parents show you. Like, I didn't know that it was a song until I went and watched Mary Poppins myself. Honestly, one of the greatest movies, but still, it doesn't have the same melodic appeal that You've Got a Friend in Me does. It's just it's simpler, it's easier to remember for little kids, and it's just like the one that you always know. You hear that song, You've Got a Friend in Me. You hear Feed the Birds, you're not going to know what it is. Just saying.
All right. So, Dark Spark, man, let them know. Let them know
Well,
why
first,
Feed the
I
Birds
think
is it.
I need to remind you, both of you, this isn't the most popular song. If that what was the category, then you guys both have a point. This isn't the most popular song. It's the best song. And to your point, Boba, you said best Disney song. Whose name came from that? That Disney? Who came? Oh, right. It was Walt. This is silly me. Yeah, the thing is, what child born in 2016 is singing "You've Got a Friend in Me"? Because that would be a 5-year-old right now. I feel like that's an us thing. That's not a them thing. So if anything, I just did some of Juice's work because there you go, bud. But I'm gonna get to you in a hot minute. Are you Juice? Did you just argue that the entire Renaissance's soundtrack didn't do something that Let It Go did? Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Just because something is overplayed currently does not mean that it has the level of staying power, much less impact as that, since apparently we're not doing best film, we're doing most popular. So
All right, Juice, closing arguments, man.
No, I acknowledge. I said that it's mainstream and overplayed, but still, it has the value of bringing people to its film. Obviously, if a song has good meaning to it and it shows some type of transformation or accepting oneself and like letting it go, literally, like what the song says, then it has value to it. Like I said, like if you want people to watch your film and people aren't interested in your characters, they're not interested in the plot, they're not interested in the setting or where your film takes place. If a song is able to have an impact on that to get people to get into the film, that has huge impact. Like it's not about just being overplayed in mainstream. It's about what's the best thing for your film. And if music has that ability to do it, of course. Like there's some people that watch films just for the scores. Like they just want to listen to the soundtrack and the score. There's people that probably did that just for Let It Go. So
awesome. All right, Boba, what you got there, man?
I mean, personally, I prefer to watch Frozen for the first time in forever, or some of the other songs, not Let It Go, because Let It Go, like I said, was overplayed. And then both of our movies do that or all three of our movies do that exact same thing. You hear Feed the Birds, you're gonna want to watch Mary Poppins. You hear You've Got a Friend in Me, you're gonna want to watch Toy Story. You hear Let It Go, you're gonna want to watch Frozen. Argument invalid. But now to Dark Spark's point, I completely agree with your argument, but what I'm going to say is that best Disney song. So while it is his name, what does Disney exactly mean in that sense? You know, what are they trying to appeal to in the sense of creating a song? You know, you don't hear songs like Feed the Birds anymore. Yes, it is powerful. Yes, it was strong in a very, very great movie. But right now, what they need is that simple melodic song that they can just put on, listen to, and still have that sense of joy. They don't need to feel that sense of somberness that came in the early 1900s, which is when Mary Poppins was. You know, that's just my closing thing there.
Awesome. All right, Dark.
Let's
close it out.
That is a awful fallacy, my man. Disney has never just been for children. Disney has been for the young and young at heart. And we can go back to Disney's own quotes that say this very thing, that it is for the children to savor the promise of the future, and for the adults to remember that the things that they looked at and wondered and imagined and thought were possible still are, if you just believe and try hard enough and look for unique answers to create and creative answers to problems. I just don't think that in Disney in 2013 had trouble pulling in people that it needed Let It Go to be a hit. People would have seen Frozen because it said Disney on it at that point. Again, because before that, we had this little guy in a garage that eventually went up to here, and his whole ethos was about remembering what it means to look out for others, what it means to see people, what it truly means to never forget the wonder of the world and not be jaded by its awfulness. And that's what Feed the Birds is all about.
Awesome. Great arguments there. A lot of good choices. Again, chat, we'll see what you guys say. We got the poll going up now. We got 2 minutes. I forgot to do that battle royale last time, so we're gonna do battle royale now. We'll make up the other one as well in just a few. But we'll kick that off while you guys are voting. Again, whoever wins this, make sure reach out to me on Discord. We'll make that happen with the gift card. But yeah, so you guys picking some of the stuff again. I would say, Let It Go a little more mainstream, like Juice was saying. Boba, one of the classics, Friend and Me. Dark Spark, Feed the Birds, classic when it comes to Mary Poppins. One of those movies that's always fun to go back to. But yeah, it's definitely one of the oldies. Yeah, we got a lot of them in the chat here. I'm curious from you guys. We've got things like Lion King, Aladdin. What are you guys thinking when you're seeing those in the chat, and why you didn't go with one of those other movies?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of those, I don't know, it took some thought, like trying to come up with any choice for this category or a lot of these categories. It's super subjective, and as to guess points as a music major, especially the one that's best Disney song, it's like, in my eyes, it's honestly impossible to quantify what makes the best Disney song. You got to think, what does Disney mean? My definition, Dark Spark's definition, Juice's definition. It kind of means all of those at once. And then on the music side of things, it's like trying to quantify what's the best piece Mozart ever wrote, right? You almost can't, because there's so many different qualities that they all have that make them individual and special and unique. And like, they all have that place. So trying to justify which one's better, because like I'm looking in the chat and a lot of people are mentioning songs that are their favorite, but are they the best song?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, because I think I mentioned it to Dark Spark. I'm like, people are gonna want I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the literal meme song. It's very great. I love that song, but I don't think it's the best song.
Right.
But again, it's subjective. It's personal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm choosing You've Got a Friend in Me because it was the one thing I thought of. Like, I did think of Feed the Birds, but I'm going to choose one that I think I can defend. I don't think I could have defended it as well as Dark Spark, honestly.
Yeah.
And music, that's the thing about music, is like Boba and I've had this conversation, is that music is easily the most subjective art. Because like, at least with like film, you can say, if you're going by a narrative film, you can say, okay, there's certain structure and rules and concepts. And while yes, that happens in music, there's such a variety of choice in how it goes about it that one person's noise is another person's masterpiece in music. And so it's so subjective that it's extremely hard to do anything other than just kind of wing it and, hope for the best.
Yep. Yep. How about you, Juice?
No, I agree with him. I mean, obviously, I play music. I know Boba's involved with music as far as his career and his education, and same with Spark as well. Like, we all have different opinions on it. My thing about Let It Go that was strong to me is, like, I remember when Frozen came out, and it was dominant. Like, I had never seen a Disney film come out and be that strong and like just be that such a cultural phenomenon. And a lot of it had to do with like Let It Go and leading kind of the charge of people going to the movie just because of the music. Obviously, Boba mentioned there's a lot of other songs in that film that he likes more, I'd rather listen to. But when it comes to that, like, I never seen anything like that before. And we've seen other Disney movies come out after that, but it's like, I've never, like, as far as music goes along with the film, like, they haven't been quite the phenomenon like Frozen has been, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, and the other one Spartan was saying was like Moana. So Moana followed Frozen again. Kind of did a little bit of that with some of the songs there. But yeah, I agree. I mean, Frozen was definitely one of those, was all over the radio. We had seen a couple songs do that in the past, but definitely not to the level that Frozen did. So with that one, Boba taking it down, 53% of the vote on that one with You Got a Friend in Me. So we are all tied up. Oh, so this one's gonna be close. This is gonna be close. We got two more questions. And I was thinking about it earlier today. What do I do? What do I do if we get a tie? Because it could be possible. One guy could, one of you guys could win question 4. Another one wins question 5. We'll be tied up. So we may have to just do like a showdown of naming Disney movies or something like that. So we'll figure that out if it happens. But category 4, question 4. This is the one that I am the most excited about it because it's going to test your knowledge as well as your creativity. So let's get over to round 4.
Round 4.
So round 4, random movie pitch. So this one is going to be a pillar to the Disney fights. Every week, this is what's going to happen. These guys are going to be given 3 randomized Disney characters. So I've got a wheel, I spin it, they get 3 characters, they get 2 genres for movies. They're going to have to pick 2 of those characters, 1 genre, create a movie out of that, and pitch this movie. So we're going to start with you, Boba, with yours. Then we're going to go over to Dark Spark. Then we'll go over to Juice. But yeah, super, super excited about this one. So let them hear it, Boba.
All right, just so you all know, I'm totally winging this. I'm not going to be any good at this, but it's going to be fun anyway. So my choices were Baloo, Kronk, and I'm doing this for a comedy. So what we're going to be seeing is a Bill and Ted style adventure that's full of hijinks and shenanigans starring 2 of Disney's favorite sidekicks. There's going to be tons of random dancing and squirrel chatter because that's what Kronk is good at. So he's going to teach Baloo how to speak squirrel. And our heroes are going to be on a quest for something. They have no idea what it is because they're too stupid to figure it out. And this is going to be an embodiment of a "this is fine" meme. So they're going to be screwing things up along the way, and the world's going to be going to be completely lit on fire, and it's going to be fine. So Kronk is going to eventually learn the benefits of the bare necessities, which, who knows what that is. And ultimately, they will unintentionally fool Yzma, who's going to be our big villain in the movie. And she's going to end up giving up her scheme because our protagonist can't figure out what she's doing. So she gets tired of waiting. They're going to win. Big happy ending, Bill and Ted style adventure movie. And then the big happy ending is going to be everybody eating pill bugs at Cuscotopia. The end. Comedy.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Dark Spark. Tell them what you got. Give us that pitch of that movie.
I got to choose Merida and Robin Hood, and the genre was action that I chose. So I had this basically this thing where it's like, let's say Merida is we open the film. Merida's on an adventure. She discovers this strange looking artifact that she brings back to her kingdom. She does this. We find out that she does this because her mother has fallen ill, and that this artifact is actually what helps bring her mother back to health. Unfortunately, in the night, she hears a noise, goes in to inspect it, and finds that the artifact has been stolen. When she discovers who it is, she finds out that it is a fox, an anthropomorphic fox, who is just as good of a shot with an arrow as she is. She then has the entire plot will revolve around her attempting to get this back and finding out that Robin Hood needs it because of another reason that is that will help his people, because essentially it is this one piece of life that is going to be granted and who deserves what, and it becomes a whole concept of 2 heroes attempting to essentially battle it out for what they believe is the person that deserves to be saved.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. JoosBox. Let's hear it, man. Let's hear that pitch.
Let's party. Guys, I had John Smith from Pocahontas, Shere Khan, and horror as the genre. Are you ready to go?
We're good, man. Go.
All right. Starring Mel Gibson returning as John Smith, Idris Elba, formerly Shere Khan in Jon Favreau's Jungle Book, and returning for more since there's no Zootopia 2, BBC won't commit to Series 6 of Luther, and Heimdall won't get its own Marvel movie. Here we go. John Smith and Pocahontas travel to the mysterious Roanoke colony for their honeymoon. When they arrive, they are shocked to see that everybody has vanished. While investigating the colony, John Smith and Pocahontas are attacked by an unknown entity, and Pocahontas is killed in the process. Angry and disturbed, John Smith seeks out revenge to find the cause of her death. Enter a shipyard outside the jungles of India. Shere Khan has been captured and been sent overseas to America for trading. Hours before docking, Shere Khan managed to maul the animal keeper through his cage and is able to escape. He jumps off the ship and swims to the shore, not knowing he has stumbled onto Roanoke himself. Shere Khan, who wants to start a new life for himself, a new home, a new family to raise, seeks out the nearest town to begin his new life. However, just when things are quiet for the night, he hears humming from the background growing louder and louder. Shere Khan turns around to see a man wielding a chainsaw while wearing the face of Pocahontas. Who is this maniac killer? What has happened to John Smith, and why does a chainsaw exist in the year 1590? Find out in the Roanoke Chainsaw Massacre 2021.
Juice over there killing it. Killing it. This one's gonna be tough, guys. This is gonna be tough. So, Boba, you gotta follow that up. Tell them why your comedy is better than that horror movie and this action movie.
All right. Well, first off, my movie's gonna definitely be better because it's a comedy and everybody loves comedy. That's good for the entire family and made by Disney, good for the entire family. Disney does not make horror movies. And your horror movie also killed off Polka, so everybody gonna hate you. As for Darkspark, I don't really have a whole lot because it sounds pretty cool. I still think mine's gonna be better because everybody's gonna laugh at it versus try to figure out which Archer's better. It's actually Hawkeye, by the way. So comedy with very, very stupid humor is gonna be more fun than either an Archer action movie and a Polka killing horror movie. The end.
All right. Darkspark, let them know, man. Your action movie.
Boba, I hate to break this to you, buddy, but not everybody loves comedy because comedy is so subjective. Take it from the person who's tried to make short comedy films, okay? People don't laugh at everything. The biggest thing is you know, I'm a little almost confused by Juice's entire thing. I just feel like, okay, yeah, but I'm so confused. I don't even know what's happened. But I think Civil War kind of says that people kind of want to be able to have two relatable characters go at it and pick sides. And that's why I chose the whole versus angle with that. And especially with the concept of if I give you two different characters that you both think deserve to live, then we have great little commentaries from both characters that make arguments, kind of like what we're doing right now. A little meta if you think about it.
Awesome. All right, Juice. Why is your horror movie the one that everybody should go see in theaters?
Oh, I mean, everyone was shaking in fear and trembling during my pitch, so I mean, that kind of speaks for himself. For Boba's comedy, it was, I didn't mute my microphone, but you didn't hear any laughs coming from me, so I was hoping for a little more punchlines and some whimsical jokes, not just winging it as soon as you make your pitch. I'm sure Hollywood, they do that in Hollywood all the time, right, Boba? So as far as the action stuff, I was expecting some high, like Darkspark said, some high endgame level, some high action and great plot points. Great. You don't even have a villain. I was expecting some type of villain pitch or something like that. Some other crossovers with maybe Robin Hood or Brave, but I heard none of that. I mentioned definitely our two main characters. We have an insane villain goes mad after the death of a loved one. Shere Khan, who's just trying to start a new life, encounters a maniac wielding chainsaw man who the fate of John Smith becomes. It's definitely the horror move, guys.
All right. Boba, closing arguments, man.
I'm good. I got everything that I need that I wanted to say out there. Everything that I had written down on my non-existent notepad.
Darkspark, how about your side, man? Closing arguments.
My closing argument is if Juice can explain how there's an actual chainsaw in that time period other than ooh, look at this part of the elevator pitch. Yeah, it kind of requires,
Disney magic.
Actually
Disney magic.
Disney magic? Yeah, okay, that's what we call fart bubbles.
Disney
in
magic.
other news, that's the whole point. If you need an end game, then again, maybe you had your brain broken by Avengers. Not everything has to be Endgame, my guy. If you have Endgame at everything, ask DC how that worked out. Okay, they're still running from the Snyder cut. Okay,
hey, that wasn't that.
So that's all I'm gonna say. Civil War worked, and it worked simply because nobody remembers Zemo in that. Everyone remembers the fact Team Cap or Team Iron Man. That's the sad reality. So,
all right, Juice. Closing arguments, man.
No, I don't have much. I mean, I think a chainsaw existing in the 1540s is just as realistic as a fox wearing clothing and shooting a bow and arrow. If you want to stretch reality, go for it, Darkspark. Let's do it, buddy. But like I said before, Disney magic. Disney magic.
Except the chainsaw exists in our world. Anthropomorphic animals don't. Your move.
No, they do.
All right, guys. So you guys have got the pitches. So the thing is, if you're going to the movie theater, you're spending your money based on these pitches. What is the movie you're going to go see? Let's throw that poll up there. You got 2 minutes. While that poll is up there, we're going to be doing, again, another Battle Royale. Winner of this, definitely
chat.
hit
You're
me
gonna
up.
get real triggered.
Hit me up on Discord on the winner. We'll get you that gift card. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff hanging out in that chat. I think DarkSpark, when you brought in DC, you brought in Marvel. You got some stuff coming on in the chat, but that was fun. It was fun. So I know you guys got
For your movie?
Was that Juice?
What?
Spark, what was your title of your movie?
Archers of Fate.
What?
Archers of Fate. Because
Oh.
if you could change your fate, wouldn't you?
Ooh, quotes.
Sounds like some Hunger Games stuff.
Yeah, well, at least it's not a ripoff of a horror classic. Whoops.
Oh, but it's so great.
So
I mean, enjoy that IP and copyright infringement argument.
So we had some other characters you guys had and genres and things like that. Anything else that came to mind with what you had in your other choices?
Not off the
Or
top of
you
my head. I couldn't
zoomed
really
in?
come up with something else that I had. I forgot what did I have anyway.
Honestly, I had Polka in mind, and I figured, and if I had known what Juice's was beforehand, I would have just had Polka, and it would have just been a revenge story.
Nice.
It would have been like, psych, her and Meredith would have teamed up and been like, nah, we taking down this jackwagon.
Oh, I had a documentary option. I could have done like a National Geographic on Blue.
That would have been amazing. No, you had to do it like a documentary, like Hampton's, like delivery service.
So this one's close. This one's close, guys.
Crikey,
Juice,
a balloon in a plane.
All right, I'm done. I'm gonna head out.
Be like, bye guys.
Juice is
Oh,
taking this one down.
People want to watch Polka be killed? Man, rough, man.
So Juice took this one down. It was close. Juice had 8. We had 6 over on Boba. DarkSpark, you got 4. You may have lost a couple people with those DC comments, but it was close. It was a close one. So Juice is leading right now with 2 points, 1 to each of you guys. We're going to be going into the final round. So the final round, again, this is something that will be at every single on every single episode. So let's head over to the final round.
Final round.
And so, final round. I explained it a little bit before, but for you guys that are tuning in now, so you can understand this, the question itself is best movie of all time. But the caveat to this is I've created a list of Disney movies. Most of them are there, but these guys had to look through the list. They had to pick one of those movies off the list, and they're going to have to make an argument as to why this is the best movie of all time. The thing that's going to be interesting is every single episode, the next contestants can't pick the ones that have been chosen before them. So when we get further on down, we get to semifinals, finals, they're going to be picking from the bottom of the list within this. And maybe we'll just start removing some as we go. But as of now, these guys had the full list to choose from that I created for them. And so we're gonna hear what they got. So we're gonna start over on DarkSpark. So let's hear it, man. Best movie of all time.
My best Disney movie of all time, I chose Beauty and the Beast. Insert shocked face. The only 2D animated film ever nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It was after Little Mermaid. This helped cement, having this right after Little Mermaid cemented the Disney Renaissance as being a powerhouse, not only just in animation, but in storytelling. The entire film is laced with beautiful character development. The Beast is cursed when he is 11 years old, and then throughout his entire teenage years is looking at a mirror that is saying, I am a horrible creature because I adhered to stranger danger. That whole concept breeds this beautiful character that says, I I believe I'm a bad person, so therefore I act out. Meanwhile, Gaston is on the other side, looking like a Calvin Klein model who's also a terrible, terrible person on the inside. But it is showing the concept that beauty is truly found within, and it gives us a protagonist that is, without a doubt, one of, if not the smartest female that Disney has ever created in Belle, who actually is completely aloof to her looks, enjoys reading, does not give a flying hoo-ha what anyone has to say about her, um, and just wants adventure. She doesn't need a man like Snow White. She doesn't, she doesn't need a little girl to love her like Jessie. She just wants adventure, and she happens to stumble upon it, and therefore we have one of the greatest villain songs of all time in the Mob Song, where it says, "We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us." If that isn't a culmination in a complete microcosm of human experience, especially in the 21st century, I don't know what is. Beauty and the Beast.
All right. So it's a good one. That's a good one. You got in the chat over there some people saying top 5, but we got to hear these arguments. So Boba, we're gonna throw it over to you, man. What'd you pick, and tell us about it?
All right, so there's probably gonna be some controversy, but my choice for best Disney movie of all time was Toy Story. So the Toy Story is the first film in a long line, still continuing line of a connected universe of movies. Its animation style is what spawned the Pixar company. I don't know a better word to say that, but it's what solidified it as a movie titan to be able to coexist alongside Walt Disney Animation Studios. Toy Story is what it's a wildly imaginative story, and it exhibits all the qualities of a Disney movie while not originally being owned by Disney. It's got numerous memorable characters, like you can name more than 10 off the top of your head, all with unique personalities and that help further the plot. There are not just one, but 2 major character arcs for Woody and Buzz, a story of acceptance and understanding for those that are different in Woody, and one that is another story of self-rediscovery to an extent, so for Buzz. And then there's also a lot of really great historical context in the movie, as it kind of plays on the conflict that kids may have gone through during the transition into the space race in the 1960s. So the fascination with antique toys versus the fascination with technology and things like that. Teaches qualities of teamwork, friendship, loyalty, respect to children who have yet to learn that. And on a surface level, it always allows anyone to understand and relive the joy of happiness, being able to live carefree and just be a kid again, and to remember what it's like to play with your toys.
Awesome. All right, Juice. Bring it home. Bring it home, man.
Yeah, this is a tough category. There's so many to choose from, but I chose Inside Out. I think it's Pixar's best film. Comes from Mastermind, Peak Doctor, obviously Monsters, Inc., Up, Inside Out, and then finally Soul, which came out last year. Inside Out explores universal feelings, and like joy and sadness, it boils them down to their elemental cores, personifies them, and invites us to see how they shape us and the people we love, one memory at a time. Pixar also anthropomorphizes human thoughts and emotion as a daunting and a difficult task, but the film is able to make these characters look relatable and look very entertaining compared to most other films. Here's a lot of things I like about Inside Out. It has an amazing cast, characters that we relate to. We have joy by Amy Poehler, sadness voiced by Phyllis Smith, anger voiced by Lewis Black, disgust, Mindy Kaling, and finally fear by Bill Hader. These 5 primary feelings work in unison to make each and every one of Riley's decisions that keep her safe, help her meet new friends, and do everything from scoring hockey goals to judging new experiences. There's also humor in the film. Inside Out's humor comes from watching all 5 emotions wrestle for control and witnessing how their actions and arguments change Riley's behavior or personality. The movie's also mature at times. Inside Out feels more like adult, more willing to explore the dark cages of what unhappiness actually feels like. We also have overlooked minor characters. The most impactful character of the movie isn't Joy or Riley or even Sadness. That honor goes to Bing Bong, Riley's imaginary friend whose strange amalgam of an elephant, a cat, candy, and a dolphin. He's lost among Riley's millions of memories, unaware that she's outgrown him. Bing Bong also serves as this message to parents. Childhood innocence is precious and will inevitably disintegrate, but it's also necessary. Inside Out has the complete package. It relishes the present, remembering to be grateful and appreciating all the splendid things about the small moments of our lives. It also wants us to understand that treasuring these moments makes us vulnerable. But most importantly, Inside Out has in-depth understanding to who we are as human beings.
Yeah. Juice always coming in right at the buzzer, timing it out perfectly. So,
Yep.
Go around the room. Dark Spark, tell them why Beauty and the Beast is better than Inside Out and Toy Story.
The simple reality though is the fact that while you might have to go inside Riley's head to get this illustration of what is going on, you don't need to do that for Beauty and the Beast. I can tell you exactly what anyone that's paying attention can tell exactly what's going on in Beast's mind just from the way he turns and looks. That is the fact that you guys chose 2 3D animated films. 3D animation is great, but 2D animation requires an entirely different discipline. The fact that each single frame had to be drawn out, and the fact that those little looks, those little subtle gestures were thought out, were planned to the point of evoking realism and human connection to a character that is nothing more than a piece of the drawing on a piece of paper. To me, it's no contest. It is no contest. Beauty and the Beast is the best Disney film of all time.
All right, Boba.
All right. My only rebuttal for this is I'm just gonna go back and appeal to my original argument for like why I was rebutting about like best Disney song. I'm going to try and appeal to what it means to be a piece of Disney media. You're gonna appeal to a wider demographic, largely younger. Beauty and the Beast, greatly respect the movie. Inside Out, same thing. I feel like for Beauty and the Beast, a lot of kids are initially afraid of the Beast. Only of that reason that they might refrain from watching it over and over and over again and not understand the deeper themes that Darkspark has outlined. Whereas for Inside Out, my only thing there is that I feel like kids watch it once, they think it's good. A lot of our older fans will understand the deep context between Inside Out and Beauty and the Beast. Whereas Toy Story, it has those deep contexts, it has those qualities, and yet kids can still watch it on a surface level and just love the movie. You'll hear many more people say they're going to rewatch Toy Story over and over and over again versus Inside Out. Because honestly, even in my personal experience, I've only seen Inside Out a couple times. While I do think it's a very, very great movie, I don't see a whole lot of rewatchability versus Toy Story. I won't say the same about Beauty and the Beast because I know Dark Spark's going to light me up, but that's just my piece.
All right, Juice. Rebuttals here.
All right, here we go. So, look, I like Toy Story. I'm not going to debate much about Toy Story. I do think the third one is my favorite out of the entire series. I do even think the second one's a stronger film compared to the first one as well. But let's talk about a couple things about Beauty and the Beast, which I do not like. Okay, let's see if Mr. Darkspark can answer these questions. Here we go. So, question number 1. Why did Belle sing a mean song about the village? Second question, why do only 2 characters in the film have accents? Because that's not authentic to France. Question 3, why can't the Beast use silverware to eat his meals during the movie? That doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, who would even let Belle in when she goes to the castle in the first place? Let's talk about Chip, the little minor character. Why does he have a chip? Why didn't they explain that? Let's talk about one of the most famous songs from Be Our Guest. Yeah, Be Our Guest, right? Why does the Beast not wake up during Be Our Guest? Why didn't he come down and storm the castle? Next question, how did Gaston even find the castle towards the end of the movie? Not like he knows where it is. And then why does Gaston have that sudden alarming change? There's a lot of questions that I have in Beauty and the Beast. Look, it's a great film. Okay, like I said, this is a hard topic, but it doesn't make Beauty and the Beast the best movie of all time compared to a lot of other ones out there. I respect for what it did. Obviously, Spark made some good points, but I have a lot of questions, and there's a lot of movie theory or movie logic that makes me question a lot of things throughout the film.
All right, we got a lot there, so we're gonna throw it back over to you, Dark, because a lot of questions going on that side.
Yeah. So as he tries to overwhelm you with questions and make you think and point out flaws, let me just drop it. One, if you need encyclopedic knowledge of everything going on in a movie, you probably need to start reassessing that you're watching a movie and not reading Wikipedia. The thing is that Boba, and just a sidebar, Boba. I know you made a good point about kids might be afraid of the beast, but you gotta remember, kids are stronger than they look. And especially true now, and it was true for us 90s kids, and it was especially true now for our 2000s kids. I think they're probably afraid of him for about maybe a second from when he's first introduced, but then once you see him in the light, there's nothing. There's not. They kind of honestly, most people just say they want to hug him, and he kind of needs a hug. But if we want to go back to it, why does Beast not know how to use silverware? Because if you notice, there's a carcass of a deer behind it. Yeah, there was actually a scene where he was dragging a carcass, but they cut it because they thought maybe that's a little too extra. But yes, there is remains of a carcass in the West Wing that shows he has completely relented himself to the fact that he's a beast. There's the thing of Belle singing a mean song about the village. Okay, one, it's not mean, it's true. I mean, the town is small-minded. They're so small-minded that literally Gaston, the dumbest person in the village, is able to manipulate the entire group of them to storm a castle. I mean, it's not exactly beyond it to say that if the smart person says, yeah, you know what, these people, they kind of just are. They're not very smart, and they're easily manipulated. It's not really that mean if it's true. It's just there might be a lot of questions, but I mean, I can ask the same about Inside Out. Why does Riley seem to only have one emotion at a time? Is that how you work? Because that's not how I work. Usually I feel like 4 different emotions. Of those 5, I feel like 4 at the same time. So why they split them up where it's like, okay, now I'm mad. Now I'm sad. Now I'm happy. No. It blends. It blends.
All right.
So splitting them up is easy and convenient for storytelling, but if you want to talk about questioning reality, there you go.
All right, Boba, throw it over to your side, man. Closing arguments. What are you thinking here?
I mean, any closing argument, like just to DarkSpark's point, not trying to bash Inside Out or anything like that, but they do split them up and simplify everything for the kids. But to call it a best Disney movie, you probably need those more complicated techniques and like underlying textures there. Whereas Inside Out, you have everything all split up. And I mean, any closing argument, I heavily respect all the movies, right? It's hard to defend any of them. So honestly, I'm just trying to go off of what everybody else has said. But yeah, that's my defense there. Not really much of a defense anyway.
All right, Juice. Closing arguments, man.
No, I mean, Spark says that all the emotions are separate, but I clearly stated in my opening argument that all the emotions start fighting with each other and they wrestle for that control, and that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes the humor throughout the movie. Obviously, joy eventually gets separated, and then the plot escalates from there. But it shows the idea of what happens if you did lose all these emotions and things like that. It shows you what it would be like for a teen, jumping both in her head and the outside world, which I think both kids and adults can relate to. The last thing I want to make is, why are there wolves outside the castle in the Beauty and the Beast? I mean, there'd be no food in the castle. Like, where the wolves would travel, they would travel as a pack. They would go to find food. They wouldn't just stay stagnant in the castle. The wolves in the movie don't make any sense to me as well. Like I said, I like Beauty and the Beast. I just have a lot of issues with this, and I dissect it because we do a show on Disney movies every week. End story.
Wolves are territory animals, Jackwagon.
Where are they eating food, buddy?
It doesn't matter where they can get it from anywhere. You can have a big territory. You don't have to just
eat all the food by the castle or just chill there.
Oh my God! It's like he didn't even watch the film.
Yeah, he hasn't needed to yet. We haven't gotten to the Disney Renaissance.
Yeah, clearly. Bring that up in Disney discussion. We'll go for 4 hours, and I can dump on you the whole time. Goodness, man.
All right. So yeah, great arguments. Again, I think this one is going to be one of the fun arguments because, again, when we're looking at best Disney movie, there's so many aspects to look at from this. Just like Chad was saying, you got the content, the songs, just everything about it, right? Emotions, how we remember it as kids, all that good stuff. So you guys made some amazing arguments around this. So we're going to turn it over to the chat. We've got the polls going up now. We're going to also start that battle royale. So again, you win the battle royale, hit me up on Discord. We'll get you that $5 gift card, whether that's Amazon, Apple, or Google. And yeah, so you guys, like I said earlier, we had that big list. There was a lot to choose from. I think you guys all made great choices. And I also find it funny that Boba, you picked Toy Story, you picked Friend and Me, but JoosBox, you stole Woody from him when we were talking about best character. Couldn't have the whole stream Toy Story over there with Boba.
I mean, I could have. It's kind of like I said earlier. For any single one of these categories, it was like, for me, honestly, it was almost impossible to choose one. The fact that I had to choose one was why I feel like some of my arguments have been a little bit weaker. Because like for most of us, we can talk about any of these categories for like forever, and why this might be better than the other one, or this might be not as good as the other one. But for like this reason and this reason and this reason, so like, thinking about it, Woody and Buzz are some of my favorite characters, but I'm trying to think of like what I've learned about how to like analyze these kind of things, what might make the best Disney character. And like, I personally, I feel like there were better choices than Woody and Buzz. Like overall, I ended up choosing Toy Story as the best Disney movie because I thought overall the movie was better. But I ended up choosing Wreck-It Ralph as my best Disney character for the individual aspects of his character arc. Yeah. And again, it's like, I could do it with almost anyone. I could at least try to do it with almost anyone. It was hard to choose just one.
Yeah, and then JoosBox, man, a lot of your choices. Not so many of the old school stuff. You're focusing on the new stuff. Is that your Disney picks at the moment? The movies you're into?
No, I mean, it's tough because it's like, obviously the classics are the classics, but I've really been enjoying how Disney's been learning from their past films and just making things significantly better. Like I said, I prefer Toy Story 3 over even the second and the first one. I just love the emotional impact it has on me. Like every time I watch the ending of Toy Story 3, like I tear up every time. When I watch the ending of Inside Out, it hits me on an emotional level. And to think that a movie has that high level of an impact on me, where it's both able to kind of inspire me and both affect me emotionally, it means a lot. And there's not a lot of movies that can do that for me. So yeah, the modern ones, I feel like Disney's really learning from their past films, and they're bringing on the best staff, and the animation's getting better. Things look more realistic than ever. And I think just the stories are really unique. I think Inside Out is such a unique story, and it can only be done through something like Pixar and animation. So I just think it works.
Yeah, cool. So with that round, DarkSpark taking it down with 67% of the vote. You got 12 votes. These other guys only got 3, man. Beauty and the Beast definitely resonated with the chat. They definitely agree with you. That is the best Disney movie of all time. So that's going to bring us in a tiebreaker. Juice, you got 2 points. DarkSpark, you got 2 points. I'm sorry, Boba. You just couldn't get it across there with the Toy Story. So Guest has messaged me in the background with a question. So he's got a random question over here. I'm going to throw this out for you guys. We're going to have to do this real time. I'm not prepared for this either. So it's going to be fun. So the question from Guest is, currently we're going to go back to Disney. We're going to go back to classic Disney, right? We've got the Sensational Six, but they were not always called the Sensational Six. They were called the Fab Five before that. We've added some characters to this group. So if you could remove one of the characters from the Sensational Six, I'm not talking necessarily DSA, just in general, who would you remove? So your choices, you've got Minnie, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy. That's all of them, right? No. Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy. Missing Donald. So I'm going to kind of throw this up. Dark, we'll start with you. So we'll see who you pick. Who would you remove from that list to go back to the Fab Five?
Honestly, I'd have to remove Pluto. He is the most derivative character once you realize that, shocker, this might come as shock, Goofy is also a dog, people. So once you realize that, it kind of doesn't make sense that Pluto has to sit on a leash and be on a dog and it's outside the doghouse, but Goofy has his own home with a mortgage and a son. I just feel like he kind of is a little useless when you think about it. Yeah, okay, Mickey has a dog. Okay, I barely see Mickey interact with Pluto. Honestly, I feel like at that point he's just lost his actual like um, utility and viability, which is an unfortunate turn, but it nonetheless is what it is. So my Fab Five would be Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy.
All right, JoosBox. So same question. Who you gonna get rid of? You can't pick Pluto. I randomized you guys just so you know who went first. But who you got, man?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I was probably going to pick Pluto too. I mean, not to get into it, but I mean, you're not going to go out and watch like a Pluto movie. Like he doesn't talk. There's no dialogue. It'd just be a animated, just kind of him going through the world, digging for bones, going through some type of insane plot. But not to answer the Pluto question. I don't know. It's tough. I'd probably say Donald Duck. The only reason why is I find Donald Duck. If you had like a Donald Duck standalone movie or just him with a major role, the voice kind of gets me over time. Just if you hear too much Donald Duck, I kind of get annoyed after a while. And I guess the main thing about Donald is he's pretty bad tempered, hence the moves in DSA, his abilities, and he often gets into trouble. So I mean, if you want to have the sensational 6 or reduced to 5, and you want to have more, ongoing good things and happiness, yeah, maybe taking away Donald may prevent some problems or him getting into mischief as well. But yeah, tough question though, guest. Good one.
Awesome. All right, any rebuttals, DarkSpark, from your side?
No, other than the fact though, but if you take Donald out, then that means we lose Quackshot, which all my old people know as one of the greatest Genesis games of all time. Quackshot and Cold Shadow starring Mally Mallard. Come on. Those were fantastic. We can't lose those. We need Donald's anger and his insatiable, ridiculous.
All right, JuiceBox, any rebuttals on that side?
No, I think as far as Pluto goes, I mean, couldn't any other animal serve as some type of minor pet? I mean, we have Chip and Dale; they could just be side alone characters or things like that. So like, obviously, with Pluto being gone, then it wouldn't make that much of a difference. There's plenty of animal characters in the kingdom. Yeah, like I said, as far as Donald goes, it's hard to choose anyone like that. Like you can't take away the love interest. Like you can't take away Minnie or Daisy. Like you need to have them. Like you obviously can't take away Mickey, and then you just destroy Disney themselves. Obviously, Goofy is Goofy. He provides pretty good comic relief, but he's still kind of smart and clever at times, especially when looking at like the Goofy movie. And I enjoy him quite much more than Donald Duck. But yeah, that's my opinion.
It's the Three Caballeros PTSD. That's what it is.
Right.
It's the Three Caballeros PTSD. It's like, I can't with this guy. I'm over this.
All right. So for this one, again, you wanna listen. So I'm gonna throw this poll over in the chat, but I want to make it clear. One is you want to make sure you're voting on this particular topic, but you also want to be voting on what you guys think the entire show. So MyJoosBox, DarkSpark, who do you guys want to see in the semifinals based on all the arguments that you heard tonight? Again, whoever wins this, they're going to move to the semifinals a little bit later. If they win the semifinals, they'll be going to the finals. So who did you enjoy the most with all their arguments, all their picks, all their choices, with this last one being a big one? So I'm going to throw this up. You guys make your decision. Again, the whole show. Tell me who should have won this Disney Fights. All right. So we got the poll up. You got 2 minutes. Make sure you hit those votes up. And yeah, guys, it's been a lot of fun. You guys are awesome at this. You brought your notes. I saw DarkSpark. You walk in, you had your piece of paper. I know, Boba, you always make notes whenever we're doing some of the Marvel stuff. So you guys were killing it. What was y'all's? So we'll go around the room. I'll start with you, DarkSpark. But what was your favorite question out of those 5 that you was really excited to argue about, talk about on the stream?
Honestly, it was probably the song or the character. The song one really, because like I said earlier with and Bobo and I've had discussion about just how subjective music is. So like that is such a there's something you just can't like objectively argue that like, oh well, this song is better or this song, because at the end of the day it's so personal about
Mhm.
what you can get out of music. So it was just, I knew that was just going to be the fun topic where we would get so much different back and forth and like points of view. So I
Yeah.
was really excited for that one.
So, how about you, Juice? What was your favorite question of the night? The one you were really looking forward to?
It was probably the genre mix, honestly. I don't know. I consider myself kind of a creative person, so when I had the freedom to kind of like take characters and put them in some type of film and things like that, I got to have fun with it, despite it being kind of crazy and whatnot. But the reason why I like that more than the others because Spark was saying, like these other questions are hard to answer. Like there's so many other films and songs that you're competing against each other. Everything's subjective based on what you believe on certain things. So it was able to kind of like nail a kind of a concrete thing in some type of idea and present it in a fun way to you all. So yeah, definitely the crossover genre pick was my favorite.
No. Awesome. How about you, Bubba? What was your favorite question for the night?
It definitely had to be best Disney song for sure. As
Mm-hmm.
like someone who's like majoring in music, it really helped me like try to analyze and like for the first time ever try to defend why I think a song is better than any other any other. But to Dark Spark's point, like what discussion haven't we had?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like the thing about like Disney songs, like I love music like to the end of the earth. It's like the reason I chose it as a career, and it's just like I remember I asked it when we were trying to plan this out, like, does it have to be a Disney movie song? And you simplified it to yes, it does. Because
Mm-hmm.
to me, a lot of the reason like it probably has a lot of like personal bias. Like, I was thinking of like the Fantasmic soundtrack or Baroque Hoedown for Main Street Electrical Parade as best Disney song because technically it is a song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just really really hard to quantify like what qualities you think because every single person is going to have different qualities and it's like well I was really really interested to hear what everybody else said as to like what could really be the best Disney song because there's like the appeal, there's the musical quality, there's the message behind it, and it's just all these things combined that make it really interesting to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that one, we got the votes are in. Dark Spark, you took it down 17-2. Juice, surprising. I thought it would be a lot closer than that, but maybe again, Donald and Pluto, maybe that's what they were going most of their votes off of. But anyway, the biggest thing is Boba, my juice, you're not completely out of it just yet. So we got one of the rounds a little bit later in the season. We got a wild card round where the viewers are going to vote on who they want to see come back. So they're going to be able to pick 3 people throughout all the different episodes, bring those people back to fight for that one last chance to make it in the semifinals. But Dark Spark, man, you're moving on. You're moving on to the semifinals. There's going to be a lot of competition there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely looking forward to that, man. Any closing words? Anything you want to say as far as thank yous to the chat or anything like that?
No, well, thanks for voting me through, guys. I honestly just picked these. I didn't pick ones that I felt were the strongest other than Beauty and the Beast. I just felt ones that were just be fun for me to try to make arguments for. So, but also thanks to Boba and Juice for bringing it, man. Like that was fun. Like I mean, we got some really good stuff about it. And Juice and I are gonna have some fighting words when it comes to Disney discussion now, because I hope he knows that he's about to be the victim of my Vince Carter dunks. So like, but no, this was really fun. Thank you also, thank you Default for doing this, man. This was
Yeah.
really cool. This was a really good idea, and a really fun concept. And I was glad I got to do it with the 2 people that really kind of drew me out of the shadows in this community. So.
So Boba, we're gonna go around the room just real quick. Last words, everybody. How can they find you? Plug yourself. We want to make sure this time's for you guys too.
So like last things for me, like you can find me social media, Instagram, BobaLife32, not 808. I do stream now. I'm really, really new. I'm very close to affiliate, BobaLife808. If you want to go ahead and follow, that would be really, really awesome. And then you could always find me on Discord at BobaLife808 or in the Cozyverse server or basically literally any server that has to do with DSA. I'm probably there.
All right. How about you, Juice?
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/MyJoosBox. But I really want to plug the other guys here. When Dan reached out to me about doing the show, I said, bring on Boba, bring on Sparky if you can. They know way more about movies than I do. And yeah, I mean, aside from the little trash talking and stuff tonight, like Boba's been a huge part of the community. Like I said, he just got into streaming and he's killing it. Definitely follow him on Twitch. Give him some views, guys. He's close to affiliate. Let's make that happen. And then what can I say about DarkSpark? Like he came on for a bonus guest for Disney discussion. He absolutely killed it. And I've had him on as a permanent panel member every single time. So this was all fun and games, and I want to talk more about the other people than myself. So they're killer. Really good community. And obviously, Dan, great job for putting this together. This stuff takes a ton of work to do, like we talked about before you went live. But it was a good time. I was happy to come on, and I knew it was going to be a tough show with these two guys, and they brought the heat. I'm just happy I won at least one topic. So to be honest with you.
Same.
Yeah.
I had a big feeling that I wasn't gonna get too much ahead of DarkSpark.
Yeah.
Until we debate Marvel, then maybe I can win.
And anywhere DarkSpark they can find you, any plugs, anything like that?
I'm on Disney Discussion every Thursday on Juice's channel. I'm on Discord in a couple of the Cozy Club. I think I'm in Juice Club at Villains at Night. I'm around XDarkSparkX. That's pretty much the easiest way to find me. Other than that, I'm Mirage.
Again, guys, I appreciate all you guys for coming on. It was amazing. Again, looking forward to DarkSpark in the semifinals. Looking forward to the vote, seeing if we can get Boba or Juice back through the vote. We've got 9 rounds total. So again, you're going to see 8 rounds before we get to that wild card, but we'll put those votes up so everybody can vote on their favorite wild cards to make it over there. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being on episode 1. This was awesome. You guys really brought it, setting the stage, because next week we got my guest, or